Hey guys, Houston Dynamo Rail fan here. Before we could start, I just wanted to say that I'm gonna have to stop making those train wreck documentaries for now because I'm gonna have to take a break for 2 weeks. So I apologize for that. Train wreck documentaries are now coming up after my break is over. I'll try to upload as much as I can. So enjoy the show. On March 14, 2016, Amtrak train number 4, the Southwest Chief, was heading from Los Angeles, California to Chicago, Illinois. It was near Cimarron, Kansas. The train consisted of two Amtrak P-42 DC locomotives with 153 leading and 152 trailing. The train had one baggage car and 9 superliner coaches. It was nighttime and the train was flying down the track. Passengers were relaxed at the time and nothing really happened on this trip. But the engineer, he spotted a misaligned track. He tried to hit the brakes and hopefully not to hit it, but it was too little and too late to stop in time. The Amtrak train derails at 12:02 a.m. The force of the derailment caused 4 coaches at the rear end of the train to fall on their sides, while the middle one was remaining upright but still dangling and almost landing on its sides. After the derailment happened, the engineer, however, he literally tried to contact the train dispatcher. He tried to radio the BNSF train dispatcher 3 times, but he did not reach the dispatcher. So the study engineer, he later used his cell phone to call 911. In 2 minutes, emergency authorities arrived at 12:12 a.m. Service personnel on the train, however, they shared glow sticks so they could get passengers out safely in the darkness. One of the remaining cars was still upright, but the second and fourth car derailed, while the first and third car and the baggage car did not derail, along with the 2 locomotives that remained upright. Amazingly, as a miracle, not a single person had lost their lives, but only 28 people were injured, some of them seriously. One of the airlifted victims was a percussionist and an experimental musician known as Stephen Joe Weiser, aka ZF, a percussionist of an industrial music. After the passengers got off the train, some of them went to Cimarron, Kansas at the 4-H Center, where cots and blankets were set up and food was given by local restaurants. Some people were taken to Kansas City by bus and went to a train stop for a Chicago-bound train. But people are wondering, how could a derailment happen like this, and why? The National Transportation Safety Board had launched an investigation to determine what happened. The Gray County Sheriff's Department said that there was a separation vehicle that damaged the tracks and causing it to bend over. So investigators now focusing on the investigation of a crime scene to find out what could have made this worse. According to that, there was a separation vehicle and the truck's bumper, however, was dented a little bit and damaging it. But the separation vehicle, however, was still unknown. But here's how this happened. According to this one of the reports, the truck driver and his supervisor, however, have failed for notifying it, and the truck instantly rolled downhill, which more likely damaging it and hit the tracks and denting it, also damaging the tire tracks. Also, at the agricultural vehicle, however, hit the tracks, which prevented to this. The truck's bumper, however, was more likely dented after it hit the tracks, which also prevented that the truck's bumper hit it and damaging it a little bit, 25 feet from the accident. So the National Transportation Safety Board determined that the primary cause of the accident was the truck driver's failure of the agricultural vehicle to properly secure his unattended truck, which more likely rolled downhill and striking the BNSF tracks, and failure to report it to the local police. But however, that was not the only issue that occurred. On April 8th, 2016, a lawsuit was filed by Amtrak and BNSF to Cimarron Crossing Feeders, or LEC for short, for prevented for negligence for failure of a striking tracks, however, and also of a priority of damaging it. According to the lawsuit, the truck rolled down here and across US Highway 50 and rolled down the hill south and struck the tracks and more likely stop at the tracks after it strike it. But also the statement, according to the lawsuit, Cimarron Crossing Feeders, however, they literally called a tow truck without permission from BNSF and Amtrak, which also prevented of a notifying failures and also provision for negligence and also of trespassing. Cimarron, however, should have reported to the damaged tracks when they were dangerous, but they did not call any emergency from BNSF or Amtrak, and also they did not call any lost fin agents. The liability trial was canceled on November 28, 2018, after several Candace feeders, however, they have made causing and the blame on the dump truck driver, which more likely to prevent it to this accident. In the end, one of the coaches, however, that landing on their sides was repaired and put back into service since they're not too badly damaged, while the rest of the rolling stock were undamaged and put back into service. Amtrak 153 and 152 were undamaged and literally put back into service, and it could continue around as of today. After the derailment, ZF, however, he still have health problems. He could continue to work in his career until he passed away on December 16, 2017 from primary failure. 10 years have passed since this derailment, even though it's not a bad crash, but people, however, still have an experience to survive a train derailment on this date. But hopefully this will never happen again.